So, as most of you know by now, Hamas launched a terrorist attack on Israel on Sunday, and the Israeli government has been responding very violently with their apartheid policies against Palestinians that has been ongoing for the past decades. And I've made a video about this Palestinian situation in Japanese yesterday, so please have a look at it if you'd like. And in the United States, both Republicans and Democrats are very pro-Israel. Many of them are bought by the Israeli lobbyists that's been in American politics for a very long time. They refuse to even condemn or acknowledge the Israeli violence against the Palestinians that has been ongoing for a long time. And President Joe Biden has stated multiple times that he fully supports Israel. And even Bernie Sanders, who is a very progressive senator, he said that the United States has rightly offered solidarity and support to Israel in responding to Hamas attack. And I say to that, no, it is not correct to support the apartheid state that has been killing innocent civilians for a very long time. So this is just wrong. But he did acknowledge that blockade against Gaza that Israeli government has been imposing for past few days is wrong. So he's better than other politicians, Democrats and Republicans, that are refusing to even condemn the blockade against Gaza. But still, him stating that the United States has rightly offered solidarity and support to Israel just not correct, and he should have known better. And one of the only members of the Congress that laid out a statement that I could fully support in terms of Palestinian conflict is Rashida Tlaib. She's the only Palestinian American member of the Congress, and she said, quote, "I grieve the Palestinian and Israeli lives lost yesterday, today, and every day. I am determined as ever to fight for a just future where everyone can live in peace, without fear and with true freedom, equal rights, and human dignity. The path to that future must include lifting the blockade, ending the occupation, and dismantling the apartheid system that creates the suffocating, dehumanizing conditions that can lead to resistance. The failure to recognize the violent reality of living under siege, occupation, and apartheid makes no one safer. No person, no child anywhere should have to suffer or live in fear of violence. We cannot ignore the humanity in each other. As long as our country provides billions in unconditional funding to support the apartheid government, this heartbreaking cycle of violence will continue." And I think she's spot on. As she said, the root cause of this conflict in Palestine is the Israel's apartheid against Palestinians. It's the Israeli government that has been oppressing the Palestinian people for a very long time, and this is the result of that. But of course, many of the pro-Israel politicians in the US are enraged at Congresswoman Tlaib's statement. They're also very angry at the fact that she has not taken down the Palestinian flag that has been hanging in front of her office for at least the majority of this Congress. In response to Congresswoman Tlaib's statement, Democratic Representative Richie Torres said, "Shame on anyone who glorifies as resistance the largest single-day mass murder of Jews since the Holocaust. It is reprehensible and repulsive." And another Democratic Congressman, Josh Gottheimer, said, "Two of my colleagues called for America to end assistance to Israel, despite the countless images of Israeli children, women, men, and the elderly, including Americans murdered by radical Iranian-backed Hamas terrorists." And by two of my colleagues, he means Rashida and Ilhan Omar, who has also criticized Biden's decision to fully support Israel. And the ambassador of Israel to the United States also responded on Twitter, "How much more blood needs to be spilled for you to overcome your prejudice and unequivocally condemn Hamas, a US-designated terror organization? Hundreds of innocent Israeli civilians massacred in cold blood on a holy day, babies kidnapped from their mothers' arms and taken to Gaza, an 85-year-old woman in a wheelchair and a Holocaust survivor taken hostage. Is that not enough, Rashida Tlaib?" And one Republican member of Congress, Max Miller, even went on to propose an amendment to ban foreign flags from being held in the offices of the members of the Congress. He said, "The halls of Congress belong to America. They should be reserved for flags that embody our great nation. The Palestinian flag should not have a place here. That's why I sponsored an appropriations amendment to end this silliness." And another Republican Congressman, Jack Bergman, introduced a resolution to censure Rashida Tlaib. He said, Tlaib's long history of anti-Semitic tropes and blatant anti-Jewish propaganda is both disturbing and evil, and should have no place in the halls of Congress. These responses by these pro-Israel politicians are outrageous and wrong, and as I said earlier, addressing the root cause of this conflict in Palestine is not in any way, shape, or form justifying terror and violence by Hamas. And this notion that like just holding a Palestinian flag in front of your office is like somehow condoning the violence that has been done by Hamas, this is just outrageous, you know. Like Hamas, Palestinian flag is not synonym to the support of Hamas. It's most Palestinians don't condone what Hamas is doing. And if you say that just holding the Palestinian flag in front of your office is supporting Hamas, why don't you like take down the flags of the United States that's probably hanging in your office too? You know, the United States has done many wrongs in the past and still is doing some wrongs today. It's a country that offensively invaded Iraq and killed many innocent civilians. It's a country that was founded on slavery and violated African American people's human rights, and it's the only country that has ever used a nuclear weapon against civilians in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. America has never apologized for it to this day. So if you say like somehow just holding the Palestinian flag in front of your office is like somehow condoning Hamas or something, are you saying that you're condoning these human rights violations that United States has committed in the past by holding the United States flag? If you say yes to that question, then I guess you're being consistent at least. But these Democrats and Republican politicians that are just going after Rashida for just flying Palestinian flag in front of her office would never say yes to that question. So they're just being hypocritical and dishonest and, you know, going after Rashida in the stupidest way possible. So, and as I have been saying, like just criticizing the Israeli government and their prominence in the US politics is perceived by many people in media and politics as anti-Semitic, and Ilhan Omar has dealt with this in the past too. She made some remarks criticizing Israel. Some GOP lawmakers took issue with that, and they stripped Ilhan off of the committees that she was on because of these remarks, saying that they were anti-Semitic, but they were not anti-Semitic at all. There are some Israeli people that support Palestinian people's human rights and criticize Israel's apartheid regime. Like, are you saying that they're also anti-Semitic as well? Like, this just doesn't make sense. You know, if you care about human rights, it shouldn't be that complicated to talk about Palestinian situation. Like, it is clear that Israel is an apartheid state, and the current blockade against Gaza is horrifying and atrocious. So just calling it as what it is not anti-Semitic, and telling the truth is not anti-Semitic. It is the correct thing to do to protect the human rights of the Palestinians.